myself, Steve Thompson. So we are really excited about today's show. Today we are talking about pressure and stress. And I don't know about you, but I used to work in corporate. I was there for 17 years. And my jobs to do list was 5 pages long, and it wasn't big spacing at all. And as a result, twice, once I ended up off work with stress, and another time I ended up off work with exhaustion, and it wore me out. There's no two ways about it. So, Beatrice, pressure and stress, what's your take on it?
Oh my God, you jumped right in. Oh, let me take a deep breath now.
That's what you've got to do when you're under stress, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
You've got to be present, you've got to ground, you've got to just
Relax.
relax and
Yeah.
be present. Yes.
I just want to say hello to everyone and wishing you all a happy new year. We are in our first show today for 2022, which is going to be a fabulous year. Stephanie already said that out.
2022 is the year for you.
Oh, yeah, that sounds really
I've
cool.
just read that in somebody's Facebook page. I thought it was very, very apt.
Okay, thank you so much for the ladies who are with us live, and I hope we're going to have the opportunity to chat during our conversation, 30 minutes conversation today. Please feel free to drop your questions in the comments, and we'll pick them up to answer during the call or after, or towards the end or after. But feel free to join us, unmute and join us with your questions if you have your questions or your comments, because this is what we want to do, uh, to bring you in and participating. Everything is a conversation, everything is a movement. We are moving from one cycle to a new cycle. I just wanted to mention because I was chatting with Stephanie just before we went live. I'm still in that assessing mode, in the integration mode. I don't um, yet feel that is the right moment for me to kind of like press the acceleration yet. So I allow myself to be with what I feel and be gentle to myself. So this is where I am.
I think that's really, really wise, Beatrice. Very, very wise that everybody should feel in to what they need. And that's really, really good, especially when we're talking about pressure and stress. For me, I think I'm on the total other end of the scale because I'm currently just working on my 3rd masterclass for this month. So I'm thinking, I need to listen to Beatrice a bit more and slow down.
Well, it depends on how do you feel.
Great.
So uh, now human design teaching us that we are unique,
Mm.
and of course there are some general characteristics. Yeah, so we could be already have a configuration, an energetic configuration that works well under a pressure. Yeah, like you, and I know your chart, so that's what I'm saying. And some others, uh, they don't quite work well under the pressure, so they are more sensitive to that. And I'm part of that group. I'm not going to give you figures now because that doesn't matter, but please be notice the way you naturally kind of approach the pressure. So are you more inclined to, oh my God, so I feel it, the adrenaline. So the adrenaline pressure is functioning in all of us. Is this motivating you? Is this something that, ooh, it's you, do, do you feel it gives you an oomph, or is something that kind of like, oh God, it just freezes me. I'm all contracted when it's too much pressure. I can't do anything like I used to be, especially when it was too much pressure. and I didn't understand what's happening. And I thought that, oh, there's something wrong with me. And it
Oh
wasn't.
yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
that I'm not structured in that way.
Yeah.
So knowing that, I'm okay when I feel it and I feel that it's not, and I totally understand we all need to have a kind of like a certain amount of pressure, a certain amount of stress that makes things move further. But when it's too much, you you just burn out. You burn out. If that's
Yeah.
happening, yeah.
Yes, you do burn out, because I remember when I worked in corporate, I remember sitting at the doctors, because you get to the point where you burn out, as you say. And I remember sitting at the doctors and saying, well, 2 weeks ago I had this wrong with me, and 3 weeks ago I had this wrong with me, and 2 months ago it was this, and then it was this. I've had a series of illnesses. What's the matter with me? And I hadn't listened to my body and kept pushing through because of the jobs to do list and the pressure, and it made me really poorly, so I had to stop. So if anybody's listening who has a series of illnesses, you just have a listen to your body. Really, really important. So yeah, I would definitely recommend that. And as for me working under pressure, I know it's coming up, and I feel very elated if I can get the task done before the deadline. If I'm working right up to the wire, I think, Stephanie, you could have used your time a bit more wisely. That's usually what I say to myself, because I've left it to, right up to the wire. So I'm sort of, yes, I work at that end of things a little bit, and I think, I've never thought of it that way, but listening to you, yes, probably I do.
Well, it's all fine if you don't feel anything that holds you back, or to force yourself into, as you described it, you were sick, you didn't feel well, repeatedly in a short period of time. But knowing our configuration, we don't even have to wait until we are, feeling sick or ill, or really bursting out in whatever disagreement, fight with someone else, because it could come out in various ways. It doesn't have to come out in a physical way, like a physical illness. It comes out like a emotional burst, or so it depends on each one of us, the specific configuration. But knowing that, oh, you start to notice and to observe yourself uh, in the situation, and earlier and earlier and earlier, so you kind of like protect yourself. And this is honestly for me, oh god, this is part of that loving myself first
Mm.
kind of practice that I have it with me, in the last few years, and I'm discovering, you know, um, various nuances as I'm going deeper and deeper into understanding myself not only at the mental level, at the emotional level as well, and at the physical level, as a sensory level, because you do feel the energy around you, or your energy that plummets, or
Yes.
it's contracted. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, you react to the energy around you, you respond to the energy around you, you react to the energy around. Hang on a minute, I've got something going on I shouldn't have. I've got an echo going on. Sorry about that. I don't know what I pressed then. But you react to the energy around you, and you react to people, and you saying it comes out emotionally, that's when you start having your arguments, or you start having tears, or you start feeling as though you're totally and utterly incompetent at what you do, but you're really good at your job. And it manifests in so many different ways. And as you say, being self-aware earlier and earlier and earlier helps so much, doesn't it? Yeah, definitely. It's the list of jobs to do that used to get me. It was just, I've got all this work to do and I've only got this amount of time. And that really used to do my head in, which didn't help at all. But how,
Hey, welcome, Kate. Welcome. You are, yeah, feel free to put the camera on or not, whatever you wish. So we are very happy to have you with us. Hello, hello.
Hi.
We were chatting about the pressure that we feel and the stress and how to notice it and how to understanding so to understand it and in order to manage it in such a way that we don't end up being burned out practically. And I was about to ask you ladies if any of you has any question or any comment. Would love to hear you. Sheila, do you want to? You are unmuted, Sheila.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, you can speak.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, let's add on what Steph has been just saying about to-do list. To-do list is because it makes things even more worse. Because you're thinking, I have to do this task, I have to do this, I have to do this. Then you end up finding your body overwhelmed. And like, you end up being like, if I could put like a headless chicken. So they're thinking, I have to do this, I have to do this, I've got this certain amount of time. How am I going to fit everything into this amount of time that I do have? So, yeah, I do agree what they said, that it does end up inducing some illnesses like physical, emotional, and then become a bit irritable as well towards the people, because you've got things in your head and the thing is, actually, if only you knew how much I've got in my head in the moment, you couldn't be asking me or telling me this and that. What your body, your head is still telling you what you didn't accomplish, what you should have done, and this one like come in like, you know, in a polite way, or it could actually not be a polite way, then aggravate something. The point where you end up with a headache, I feel not well. So it just causes a lot of psychological everything. Just
Yeah.
What about them? Slow down a little bit and assess, so see how you feel, and then the boundaries. The boundaries here are very important because we want to finish all the tasks on our to-do list maybe yesterday, like Stephanie does. And then when we finish them, we end up having another list or another pile of stuff to get done. And if we don't have those boundaries and we don't allocate the right amount of time for work and for rest, we end up to be burned out. That's it.
One of the things I learned when I was in my corporate life is, yes, I had this list of 5 pages of jobs to do, and overwhelm was just enormous. I mean, I had a massive job anyway, but it was just enormous. And what I learned, so anybody who's listening now, what I learned was, you have your master list of jobs to do that sits in the book that you rarely look at. And then you take 3 jobs off the list that you want to do that day, or 1 job or 2 jobs. Usually you break the jobs down into smaller tasks, and you do 3 tasks, 3 30-minute tasks a day. And if you've done 3 30-minute tasks in one day and you've managed to sort it all out, celebrate. Yes, celebrate. And if you've got more time, you can do another 30-minute task. If you haven't got more time, you've done the 3 you set out to do. And again, coming to sums, which is not my strong point, as Beatrice knows, 3 jobs a day, 5 days a week is 15, times 4 weeks is 60 tasks a month. When you start looking at it like that, 3 30-minute tasks a day equals 60 steps forward at the end of the month. It actually is quite powerful. So anybody who's listening, there's a tip for you, is that's the way to do it. Break the big jobs down into smaller jobs and put the big job list somewhere else and just work on the 3 daily tasks. It makes a big, big difference. When I was in corporate, this is how bad it was. When I was in corporate, I started Monday morning and I chose 1 job, just 1. And if I got that 1 job done by Friday afternoon, I'd had a brilliant week. That's how bad my job was, because I was pulled from pillar to post. But picking up on Beatrice's point about boundaries, really, really important, mega important to have boundaries, so that you know when you're working, when you're doing home stuff, when you're doing personal stuff. It's really, really important to have boundaries, because otherwise you either end up working all the time or you end up playing all the time and nothing gets done. So, you know, choices and consequences. Anyway, enough of me. Beatrice, what do you want to add?
Well, I want to pick up on what Sheila said about the mental aspect, you know,
Yeah.
uh, because we were talking about a pressure to do things, and probably you felt that earlier. And in the last couple of days, I can say I can link this to the energy that the sun highlights right now is in the gate 61. This is a gate in the head. It's a gate of inner truth, and it's a gate that really highlights what's happening in your mind. I mean, are you asking yourself questions like, why am I doing this? Why this happens to me? Why I'm not able to do like the others, or to be like the others? I mean, that comparison, that's another type of pressure, you know, like oh gosh, that this pressure, oh, it just pops in my head. And I've seen an episode yesterday, keeping up with what is it called? That's a British series with appearances. Oh God, I love that. I love that series with. Don't you know that, keeping up with
The
appearances?
name rings a bell, but I can't think of the programme.
Oh gosh, she's
Feminist
Madame
bouquet.
Bouquet, with Madame Bouquet, who's
Oh,
all
yes,
about
I
the.
know that one. Yeah.
Oh God, she's absolutely. I'm rolling on the floor laughing when I see that lady. An example of a pressure, a type, another type of pressure. Yeah. The,
And I
you know,
was the neighbor, the poor neighbor, which
mm,
was invited to her house, and she
Yes.
ended up literally shaking. What is worried that if she drops a cup of tea or anything,
mm,
most because that kind of has this kind of mental effect to her, effect to her. But she always invited her to kind of show off something, and then she knew that she's gonna end up doing something wrong. So yeah, Miss Bouquet is one of the characters. Be honest.
yes, yes. It's funny, but I think we all felt that kind of pressure from peers or from colleagues. Yeah, to keep up with yeah what it should be done. Everyone used
But
to do, or used to think, or used
I
to.
can't tell you.
Can you hear me, Steph? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, Sheila, check yours, because it looks like, yeah, maybe the
I
earphones, or yeah.
think it's at your end, Sheila. Yeah. I
Yes.
can hear you fine, Beatrice.
Okay. So yeah, we will talk about the mental pressure. So the mental pressure can be really, um, yeah, felt now, probably for those who also have a
I'm
certain
disconnected. I
configuration
cannot
in
hear the voice.
an open.
Cannot hear it.
I unmuted you, Sheila, because I can't see you now and I can't hear myself talking. So yeah.
One of the things that I wanted to think about was, we've talked about the physical impact and the emotional impact and the mental impact. What do we do? And this is open to everybody. What do we do to counteract it? How can we stop the pressure? How can we, you know, sort of resist the pressure? What can we do from that aspect to counteract it? I know when I was ill and had to be signed off work, the doctor wanted me to go walking and just spending time outside walking, which I did an awful lot of. You know, sort of touching, going around it, working in nature and that sort of thing, which made a huge difference to me. And I got rid of all the stress and the pressure. But what sort of rituals, routines, tasks do you do to release the pressure?
Well, what I do personally is I'm following my emotions, because I am that type, energetic type, that I'm emotionally defined, and I'm watching myself how I emotionally react, and how my emotion guides me, because the idea is to not to go with high highs or to low lows, making decisions in your life when you are overly excited, because next day you might not be as excited as you are, and you might, yeah, that decision is not the right decision for you. Or also no make big decisions when you are low, like in a melancholic state. So there are people that they feel the emotions in a certain way, that the emotional defined people. And this is quite important. I mean, it's a huge topic, because we need to know that information, that a sadness or a melancholic phase doesn't really mean something bad. It's a part of a cycle. And if you follow, and if you are this authority, and you follow that, and you understand how to approach, how to look at your everyday journey through life, actually, then the pressure to enter in situation in situations that are high pressure, that it's not going to be so high for you. So you kind of like, you're going to be guided by your body and your wholeness, your entire energy, to enter in situations in the right way, and in the right situations at the right time, which are not going to bring that pressure that to do this and have piles of work on your desk. So probably guided towards job that will really suit you, because you entered in accordance to your natural frequency, to your true frequency, guided by your authority. So it's quite specific for each and every one of us.
That's just not triggered, that's the wrong word. That's just made me think of something. It's a shame we don't teach this in schools when young people are looking to choose jobs.
Absolutely. I know this is, oh, let's build a school for people to know, to understand, and experiment and see what happens with them if they are put in this situation. And yes, you learn by experience, of course, most of us, but there are quite a big number of us that they don't need to experience. They can learn only knowing, only learning the knowledge, only coming across with the knowledge and understanding how they are meant to look for their authority, because it might be a splenic authority, which is that kind of instant decision that your intuition is telling you. And these are encouraged to experience with that, and see, oh, listen to that, trust their intuition, and go by their intuition, not by their mind that would say, why this or why that, or look, this is happening in this way, and then the neighbor said that, and my colleague said that. So avoiding the interference of the mind, which is most of the time conditioned, because we are living in a conditioned society, so and it's conditioned by fear. So that's it. So we are really going deep into this topic, Stephanie.
Kate, you're there with us. Is there anything you want to add, or any methods that you use to resist stress that you want to share with us, or just any comments in general?
Hello. Hello. I'm hearing you, because this is about energy alignment, isn't it? But also you're talking human design, because I know that you do that as well. And I'm very new to human design, and I don't have an authority. So I guess, which is when to relieve my stress, I just have to head out into nature. And that's like I have dogs anyway, so that's a routine too. And that just does it, helps me reset. Either that, or I shut down and I go to sleep.
My grandmother always said, whilst you're asleep, you're getting better. Whilst you're awake, you're learning. And she was so wise because it's so true.
Yeah, sleep is a haven. I know it can be a bit of an escapism to extremes, but it's I take your grandma's point of view.
She was very wise. Yes, both Beatrice and I both do EAM, energy alignment method, for those who don't know what it is. But we just talk energy. We just talk about all sorts of topics, don't we, Beatrice? We just,
Yes, we do.
and Beatrice is very big on human design, and I absorb that information because I'm not. So, you know, we just bounce off each other, don't we, sweetie?
I think we do, quite in a nice way, actually. At least pleasant.
Yeah, it is. It's lovely. It's absolutely lovely.
Kate, I have a question for Kate, because she said that you said that you don't have an authority. Everyone has an authority in human design. So did you have a chance to run your chart to see what centers are defined?
Maybe yes, because I'm very new, so I may be misinterpreting it or something. Yes, I did a free thing, but it said no authority. It didn't have. So I think is that environmental authority or something? Or not?
There is. I'm talking about inner authority, and there are some exceptions that they have a mental authority. But this is what I wanted to ask if it's one of them. But
no, I think it said that was why I was a bit worried, because it said I didn't have any authority. But when then there's another thing where it says you're aligned with things, and then others were undefined. I've got about 3 defined areas.
Are you a reflector, Kate?
No, I'm a projector.
You're a projector, yeah. So there should be at least a couple of centers defined as a projector. So you definitely have to have a channel in between 2 centers, and depending on these centers, you will have your inner authority.
Okay.
But the strategy you were talking about, sleep, that's paramount for projectors, because they don't have that sacral energy that it's kind of like, you know, they are calling it unlimited. It's not quite unlimited, because if a sacral being doesn't do what it likes, what they like, that's not in a you know, it's not infinite. So the energy is not quite infinite. But if they do what they like, that's kind of like, it's a generator. But a projector really needs to be very careful on allowing time to rest, not only to sleep, but to rest and let go of anything that it's not in. It doesn't belong to their energy, because being so open, you absorb others and amplify. And at the end of the day, you need to allow time to release. And the combination between the EAM and human design, when you understand your human design really properly, you can, you know, kind of like set some rituals or, you know, practices for you at the beginning of the day or the end of the day to help you and release what is not right for you. You know, use the energy alignment method, because it's very handy. You know, you can.
That's fascinating. I will probably contact you personally, maybe about some more human design information.
I would love to do this, Kate. Yes.
What I do find, which is interesting, relevant to what you were saying when I came in on this call, I was a bit late, I'm sorry. You were talking about head energy, and every morning if I check out whether I'm fully aligned, head, heart and hara, so that energy alignment. And I always come out of alignment, and it's always my head that's out of line with everything else. So I can definitely see how I slip into a mindset thing, and then that obviously controls
Yeah.
that influences what you do, and I never do what I really want to be doing because my head's telling me to do that, and my heart and stuff's going in, or what. That's how I understand it anyway. So
Yes,
I do always try and align my brain, because I know that that's my personal default. I keep falling back into my head.
Well, that's not only yours. Just yeah, don't blame yourself for that, because the mind gets in or butts in those areas where we don't have consistent energy. So there is energy, but temporary from interaction with others. It's not the consistent all the time that you can rely on it. And mind gets in, and our minds are amazing. I mean, they are. I mean, I'm amazed about how powerful our minds are, because they can kind of figure out everything and explain everything and kind of bring, you know, a narrative for everything. But they can take us out from our relation with the body, because we do have a body and we do have an unconscious part of ours. Yeah.
I think it's absolutely fascinating. I love it. I love listening to Beatrice talk about it. She is an expert on human design, Kate, and she's an EAM mentor, so she knows her stuff. I am very conscious of time, ladies, because we say we try to keep this to 30 minutes. But what I'm going to do is say, Beatrice, where can people find out more about you? Where do they go to find out more or to get in touch with you? Do you have a website or a Facebook group or something?
Yes, it's called Mind, Body and Soul Aligned. That's the Facebook group, Mind, Body and Soul Aligned. I will put the link to my website as well. It's called mindbodyandsoulaligned.co.uk. So I'll put the links below. And yes, it's you are right, Stephanie. It's fascinating, and I'm so passionate about it.
Wow.
I would stay for hours to talk and to, you know,
Yes.
and explore, because it's my type as well. But thank you for reminding that we are a little bit. We might consider to make them longer if we have more participants, and we would like to invite more of you. So
We're adaptable.
yeah, we are adaptable. We are flexible.
Oh dear me. Right, ladies, thank you so much for coming and joining us and joining in the conversation. I found it absolutely fascinating. For those of you at home who are watching on Facebook, please put in replay and ask any questions. Beatrice and I are always in the group, or I've tried to keep an eye on if there's any comments. I've not picked up any today, but if there is, we'll come back and answer them. Thank you so much for your time. Beatrice, you're a star, as always. Love spending time with you.
Thank you, my darling. I wanted to just highlight another aspect. So there are various other modalities to release that pressure, but please consider you can even use it and transform it into power. And yeah, if you want to know more, just contact me, and I really have an offer, an essence, a flower essence that will help you to kind of like reset the background frequency of your aura, of your energetic configuration, and help you, support you, catalyze you into this readjustment and transformation of that, you know, stress into power. Or yeah, if we talk about the mental, from, you know, confusion or anxiety into inspiration.
Yeah, interesting.
Fantastic.
That's interesting, Beatrice.
Thank you, Sheila, darling.
Okay,
I
then.
would love to know more about that as well, Beatrice.
So
I will put link
Your link.
to the flower essences as well.
Oh, that'd be brilliant. Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're welcome, darling.
thank you very much indeed, ladies.
And thank you, Steph, as well.
No problem at all. See you in next month, where we will come up with another topic to talk about, all things energy. Chat soon. Bye.
Okay, take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.